Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I first want to apologize for being a little bit missing in action over the last week with the HEMA conference and then trying to get back and settled in. And um, I had a couple of days where I just really wasn't feeling very well, and so I'm really sorry for not introducing Unit 4 a little bit earlier. And so, as you, I'm sure, have seen, this unit is kind of focusing more on usability and the elements that are needed. I shouldn't say that. The needs assessment that is typically conducted prior to the implementation of electronic health record. And so, one way to evaluate EHRs is doing a usability assessment. And so going through several kind of basic scenarios and trying to determine just how user-friendly the system is. And so, unfortunately, the VLab is not very user-friendly, and I apologize for that in advance. I have gone through this assignment so many times to make the instructions easy and user-friendly, and so I feel like I'm at that point where I've made it as straightforward as possible, but I know some of you are still going to have questions. And so I wanted to just kind of go over the usability assignment tonight with all of you. And okay, so I got to move a couple of things here. Okay, so first of all, here's the assignment in Brightspace, right? Note that there are two steps to this assignment. And so it's really important that you kind of separate them both out, okay? And just take one step at a time, because I feel like you can get overwhelmed if you don't get step one completed, okay? And step one is really getting into the VLab. And so you want to click on the VLab instructions, okay? And notice that back on that Brightspace page, I had um, your enrollment codes. Make sure you're picking the right one. Don't use your classmates. And also, I would tell you, get started on this assignment this week. Now, I know it's Wednesday, but tomorrow or Friday during the, try to figure it out before the weekend. If you don't, I understand. I know you're all busy just like me. But the main reason I say is if you do have issues, I cannot help you with your VLab access. It can only be addressed by a HEMA. And so, and they have regular business hours. And so you're going to have to call during regular business hours. You can't call on the weekend. So if you can, try to get this work through this week. Okay. All right. So let's look at those VLab instructions. And so I'm not going to go through all of these because you can obviously read, but I just mainly want to point out the fact that you have to go through all of this. Okay. And I've done screenshots here for you all. You have to go through all of this before you can start the assignment. Okay. And this will get you into the VLab, which is where you will access Dr. Chrono. And Dr. Chrono is what you will use. It's an open source electronic health record that you will use to complete the usability assignment. Okay, so this is step one of the assignment, is getting into the VLab. Step two of the assignment is this EHR usability testing assignment. Okay, and that is here. Now, this assignment um, is really composed. You have two deliverables for this assignment. First is recording the outcomes for each step of the scenario that I have below. I'll go through that. And then a written evaluation of Dr. Chrono. I have had so many students only submit one of the deliverables, the first one. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. It has two deliverables. Okay, so what I suggest is that you make a copy of this document. So file, make a copy, okay, save it in your drive, and then answer the questions, okay? So prior to starting the assignment, I have some things I want you to review. There's this HIMSS EMR usability, so 9 essential principles, and then the evaluation guide, okay? Now, step two here, you should have already set up your HEMA VLab account, okay? So within step one in the Brightspace assignment area, once you have done that, log into the VLab. And then this is instructions here on how to get to Dr. Chrono, okay? So you want to get into Dr. Chrono. This assignment, it might be really helpful to have two screens, okay? Or two monitors, should say. And so if If you don't know how to do that, you can just, if you just have one monitor, that's fine. But you can even split your one monitor into two. And so you can just Google view two windows at the same time. And there's great instructions out there for that. Okay. So then you're going to want to open up on one screen, you'll have Dr. Chrono, and on the other screen, you want to open up this HIMSS EMR usability evaluation guide, which is right up here. Okay. And that's what you're going to use. All right. Now you want to complete the testing scenario below and complete tests 1 through 7. Answer the questions associated with each document. Okay, so here's your scenario. So these are the tests. Literally, all I'm looking for you to do is to go into Dr. Chrono and address these tasks. Okay, answer the questions. How many steps does it take to establish a new patient record? Is the process straightforward? Would training have been necessary to figure it out? So part of the reason, there's a couple other things, right? I'm not giving you instructions on how to use Dr. Chrono, right? And that's on purpose because we want to kind of see how usable it is, right? And how intuitive the system is. And so if you honestly cannot complete a step, then that tells me that the system is not very user friendly and they could maybe make an improvement there. So if you're not able to complete one of the tasks, just write that down, type that out, what you encountered and why you were not able to complete the task. Okay. It's just part of it, part of the assignment. I'm not going to deduct any points if you can't complete it. The whole intent is to kind of play around in the EMR and figure out what you can and can't do. Okay. So that is that. So you complete all these tasks, okay, in Dr. Chrono. And then at the end, this is part 2. This is your second deliverable then. So after you've evaluated all the tests above, you need to compare your findings with the HIMSS usability principles that you are evaluating. And they're located in the HIMSS usability guide. Okay, these are those things. So how is it, kind of like how would you rate it in simplicity, in consistency, forgiveness and feedback, effective use of language, efficient interactions, and effective information presentation. And that guide is going to tell you exactly what each of those things is. Doesn't need to be a fancy um, page paper or any paper. It's just 1 to 2 pages, so simple. Keep it straightforward. I'm, I'm not looking for anything elaborate there. So don't stress out about it. It's just kind of your opinion, but based off of course, the HIMSS usability guide. Okay. So those are your 2 deliverables, and I hope that this was helpful. I plan to do another one of these recordings for you for the next assignment, which is this needs assessment vendor comparison. And so I will likely get that posted next Monday. And then also I will be grading your Unit 3 coursework, the strategic planning for health IT assignment as well over the next couple of days. My girls are of course on MEA break, and tomorrow I'm taking my oldest daughter up to St. Scholastica for a campus visit. And so I'm excited about that, but it probably will impact my ability to grade tomorrow during the day, but tomorrow evening I will definitely be grading as well as this evening. So watch for my feedback, and I hope you guys are all doing really well. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? All right. Have a great evening.